at TradeGATEHub.com, and we are powered by TradeView Markets. Check them out. Their spreads are the most competitive in the industry. You can open a demo, trade Mike and my ideas that we post in the chat room. I'm here with Mike on our Turnaround Tuesday Market Talk.
Good
so,
morning.
Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning. I'm okay, Coach. I hope you as well. Good morning, everyone else. Yeah.
Okay.
Great communication in the room, guys.
Yeah, the room's really shaping up. You post so much great stuff, and people are learning.
Okay.
They're really, I mean, don't you get satisfaction out of people picking up on what you're teaching, and you may miss it, and they point it out, and it actually helps you.
No, absolutely. Listen, we're on here. We're on. I don't know. I do the same whether it's one person or 1,000. It should be always that way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be no different from the videos. If you go back to the, our YouTube channel, and you go back and you look at our visual dossier of, if you will, of you and I doing videos once every day, you at 9:30 and me at 11, and then continue to communicate in TradeGATEHub. So yes, we try. Okay. I don't really look at. I leave that to our marketing team and everybody like that, and successfully. I don't look at the metrics, the numbers. Like I say, I don't know who's on. Tim could, it's the same if it's you and me or 1,000 people in here. It's the same.
Feel the same way, Mike. And yesterday on my live stream, I said that the S&Ps were due for a pullback,
yes.
That it could be Fed induced. And
yes,
I don't show it on my chart, but this high Friday, Mike, and I didn't notice it until after the close, actually filled a gap.
Yes.
Or came within a couple of handles of filling the gap up there.
Yeah, a lot was going on through my Twitter feed, if you will, about the gap fill. And as I said, I was a little bit busier than I would like to have been last week, but that was one predominant the common denominator that I saw that day was the gap fill. Yes.
Yeah. So you talk about Tim making his firm and his success as a trader, buying what's green, basically a relative strength trader who notices when the market's red, buy what's green, showing inherent strength. So I just want to give what I see as the rankings in the indexes.
Please.
And I'm showing, if you look at the candles, I'll say on a 4-hour. Let's look at the NASDAQ. That's a weak sister in my view right now. I think we could see 11.8.
I would listen. I wouldn't argue.
Okay. That
I don't think we're alone either, but certainly things change very quickly. Pardon.
It'd be normal.
Things change very quickly on headlines, headline risk.
Hey, look,
it was Walmart. And it was also Shopify, and that's why I said the theme. Going back, if I can digress, saying the theme for this week was almost like looking. What was the word I used? Was surfing through things and patience and.
Great surfers don't try and catch every wave. They are patient and wait for the. Yeah, you're surfing.
Actually, it was called stalking. So, like I said, anybody that I went from positions, last week to wanting to add. Now I want to get out on a bounce. I'm not going to lie. That's what it is.
Okay, so we have the NASDAQ
Shopify being one of them.
The NASDAQ being the weak sister, then stronger than NASDAQ is S&Ps and. We rallied 350 handles off the low. Why can't we pull back to 38% or 50% and then have a repeat of this rally from wherever this post-Fed low comes in? That's what I'm looking for. And your strength, and I'd like you to pull up some examples. So look at the wick on Russell. I'm not saying it's not going to pull back to here. But Russell has the strongest structure. It's outperforming the S&P. It's outperforming the NASDAQ. And what does that mean to you, Mike, that we're getting rotation into the Russell 2000 over the other indices?
It could, I guess it's more of inflationary.
Okay.
Or speculation.
Okay. And what, infrastructure and banks? Do you have a couple best of breeds in the Russell 2000?
I apologize. Any type of earnings or price action that's been positive afterwards has been the banks. Goldman Sachs reported, JP Morgan reported, Citibank's the strongest stock on the board, if you will, the last 2 weeks or so. So that tells me that. You have Coca-Cola that reported earnings, GE reported earnings and had I don't know. It's yet to be determined if it's a one-day wonder, but you had stocks yesterday, which I pointed out in the room when you had CF up 10% or whatever it was, and John Deere was up to, double digits. That show, stocks is, proved, they showed it me. That was the type of, as Helene says, price Trump sentiment. And that's what I was showing. I like the Newmont trade yesterday. I had an opinion before having before the proper price sentiment showed, but I was actually in the right church, wrong pew. I actually wound up being right in the long, not as wrong. How about that? But said, the banks are holding up the best, and you have, some of these construction stocks, and you have inflationary stocks that are. Coca-Cola had earnings today, didn't it? I mean, they had Coke, you had 3M at earnings, and that had a little bit of pullback. But the wrong stocks, and what do I say? Wrong stocks are acting the wrong way. And wrong stocks, that I may be biased, and that says a lot about technology. It's not really like I have an 80, I'm not 80 years old and don't have a fund where it's predicated upon dividends and safety stocks, if you will. And some people that do it, bravo. But leaders are definitely not acting like leaders in every respective group. And it flip-flopped 2 weeks ago. We had that 10% bounce like you
Google?
showed. What's
like
that?
Google,
That's
Google on the
correct.
verge. Up here, I thought we'd get a breakout. Now it
Well,
looks like we're going to have a breakdown.
I was selling half there because I did. Listen, don't get me wrong. It was a 10% move, and I took a lot off. And then I said, and I preached, call it what it is. I was only keeping stocks that were best of breeds. I don't know why I didn't keep Google. It really wasn't acting well. I'm not in it now. I'm not looking to buy it. I'll give you an example, Coach. Pull up SNOW, Snowflake.
Okay, so. In fact, if you want to take over the chart, you can, but
yeah,
you
should watch. This is one of Warren Buffet's. Okay, now this is arguably a best of breed. It was a high flyer. You could put it in any category like Asan. You could put it in like Coupa Software. So that right there, I mean, that was a stock that I really thought with. Well, that's a minute chart, right? Oh,
yeah.
God.
No,
I thought that was. I mean,
yeah.
that had the 50-day. You have a 9-day. I use a 10-day. The 9-day, and then it was above the 50-day. It was even above the 200-day. And I was really looking to pounce on that one. I had it nicely. Now I went from taking profits to I turned a winner into a loser. And now I'm in a trepidation, in an unstate. I don't know. Like I said, I'm in a purgatory, if you will, based upon fundamentals and qualitative things of what's going on, maybe a little of result. So that's an example of Snowflake that I turned from a winner into a loser. It's not a bad loser, but it could turn into one. So that's when I'm looking, that's when I'm considering. I'm not really sure what to do.
Look at the relative strength of one of your favorites from a few weeks ago, CRISPR. What a great chart pattern.
And if you remember, I'll punch up my other one is the CRISPRs, and the other one that goes, the baby CRISPRs, Nutella, as you know, NTLA. Okay. And I posted in the room many times I was taking, I think I was taking some off at 70, the strike price, or something like wherever. I'll give it a Nutella.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to let you take the chart so you could show what you're looking at. Okay. And, one other chart that is very interesting to me is the 10-year. And the 10-year with the Fed meeting tomorrow sitting on a major breakdown at about 275. If the Fed does its announcement and we close under 275, I could see 10 years falling to 220, which also should be supportive of the market. So real strange that the 10-year would be on the verge of breakdown, which implies higher note prices and lower yields. But that's the chart we have today. So, pretty unusual setup. And, when it comes to the Fed, you and I were saying this yesterday, maybe hold your positions. But, who wants to add in front of the Fed? Why not what I just posted in the room? Just wait until after the Fed and react to the reaction.
I appreciate that. And listen, that's how I'm playing it. And that I'm glad, first of all, anybody looking, let me go to TradeGATEHub here. Anybody in the SIGA? How many times I mentioned SIGA today, Lewis? Come on, look at SIGA. Look at the move it's making as we speak. Nobody's in this? How could you not be in this? The monkeypox thing. In the old days, I'd be shorted. But you know what? I don't care if they make, right through the old 5, 16, 19. Don't look at it, put a stop in. That's all. But you know what,
Right.
Coach? I like that some of this economic data. I like that. Where's Walmart? Walmart, obviously, Walmart.
Oh yeah, that's a story. Yeah,
Snow.
nice gap. Yeah.
I'll get into it after, Lewis, about snow. It's about how it closed, how we closed today. I'll let you know. Lewis is asking the right questions as usual.
That wants new lows.
What's that?
That wants new lows.
Walmart?
Yeah.
You know what? And like I posted this morning, usually the second something's going up nicely. Roku and Roblox, RBLX. Is that usually the second? Listen, I have a thick skin when it comes to trading. I actively trade, to be redundant. And stocks like Walmart, who usually have that when a stock is going down, it makes that falling knife move, and everybody, and it makes that first move up, and it's usually the second leg down that has if it does bounce, has a little bit more meat on the bone. And you look at Walmart here; it hasn't made a new low, but and by the way,
it's doing the same thing it did here, Mike. I mean, this was a meltdown. All it did was recover, and now it looks like we're going to have another meltdown. But you're right; it'll be in a stronger position at a new low now than it was right after the crash because it did all this work.
But I'm glad. Listen, everybody is applauding it that Walmart can't. Everybody, hold on, traders. If you're long and you're not that happy, don't get me wrong. But going into the Fed, this is what. I'm sorry for anybody who owns it. I'm not minimizing the Walmart loss. For anybody that's a trader or going into the Fed, you didn't want that 10% bounce off the bottom. You want this actually to happen, and this is the baby out with the bathwater. The problem with Walmart is they said things are happening so rapidly that it's getting worse in a rapid manner, and why it's acting this way, and that's it's not abating. And by the way, Shopify to a degree said the same thing. Shopify, you want to consider the short squeeze move, that's fine. It had a similar move like Snowflake, and a lot of stocks in the Nasdaq did as well. It was going to yet to be determined if they back and filled or there was just a short squeeze, and it's actually they're playing their hand right now. But what you want to see is right there. It's only giving the Fed a little bit more fuel to, to just rethink and just not act in accordingly, or in an egregious manner, which everybody thinks they have been. Touche?
Well, what will really make them rethink is if everyone's expecting 75. So, I mean, if they go 1, but if they just go 75 and talk tough about further 75s or more into the next meeting, and then the next day we get a negative GDP print, those bonds will explode to the upside because the bonds are already beginning to price in economic weakness. So yields have been dropping. The 10-year peaked at 350. It's almost down. It is down 3/4 of a bip from the last Fed meeting.
Let's post it. I'm not a bond guy. I post this for you, and I actually wait for your interpretation. Or if not, I go watch your 9:30 video. But like I posted this morning, I know I'm on charts, but let me go to TGH. Part of me is
Novavax.
Yeah.
Oh no, looks not okay.
Lisa, a benchmark U.S. yield curve is the most inverted since 2000.
Okay, that's predicting recession.
So all I'm saying is we're getting back. Remember the last time Walmart reported numbers? Walmart,
they got
saying it hadn't posted bad numbers like that since I think it was 72 or 88. So
and it did it twice in a year.
Okay. So now we're going
making
back
up for lost time.
Now we're going back to true. No, now we're going back to parameters that are stretching into dangerous areas. Hasn't happened 20 years. Hasn't happened since that.
Unprecedented. So, don't forget that word. We hear that every day.
So let's for example, and let me go to TGH and let me start talking out loud.
Danny G's at tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great. It's interesting, right? This is a hell of a trifecta. Let's who has earnings. Just let me. This is Tuesday. It feels like it's later in the week. Obviously, it's only Tuesday.
Does, doesn't it?
But when you have moves in this manner. But where's open? Where's my guy open? Hold on. There you go. So who has earnings tonight? Lewis asked me about Snowflake. I don't know about Snowflake. Snowflake's not moving on its own. Snowflake is a best of breed, or it's a good company moving on sentiment right now. And I'm not saying it should or it shouldn't. So let's see who has earnings tonight. All right.
You would think Snowflake would go up with all the ice melt in Greenland. That snowflakes would be pretty valuable commodity.
Things that we're holding up too. All right,
All
who
right.
we have afterwards? After Boyd Gaming. All right, so you have your Chipotle. McDonald's
Yeah.
had major news today, so
Yeah.
you're gonna that has pin action. You have Google.
Yeah.
We have what else? We have bigger names. Hold on.
You
After
know, some of the NASDAQ stocks that we looked at, like Google looks like a layup for a new low, and
it does.
Microsoft looks like a possibility for a new low. That's very loved and very highly owned. But the averages, I don't think are going to take out that June 20th low on this particular break. I think we pull back the things that are not making new lows, buy them for one more wave to the upside and then reassess. If we bottom, say at that 50% level, 38 and a
You want to
half
go
or
back to
so,
your charts, Coach? You want to go back
we'd
to
go,
your?
no, it
Okay.
the next rally equality would be 41, 4,200, which I still think we're going to. So I like the situation of being able to buy a break here.
I no, I agree, and this is like I said. If you're worried about dimes, you don't want to see Walmart and everybody down this today. I think dollar wise, once these earnings dissipate and everybody realizes and does their homework, which is the best of breed, blah blah blah, then it'll be a proper time to reload when it comes maybe to that September October push where you know what I'm saying? Do we talk
Yeah.
about?
Okay. And Mike, anything you want to wrap it with today? Not
Uh,
the amount of time, but why don't you talk about your mentality going into major news days like the Fed? And I'm a
well,
new trader. Tell me what I should be doing.
normally, and you know what? I'm going to have to rethink my answer because normally it would be innate, and innate meaning over experience of what I learned. Normally, I wouldn't care. One of my mentors, it would say, it really does not matter. They're going to go after a strong stock with good price action, good volume and range, no matter what. But there are other stipulations now. It's the rotation is more evident literally than ever. I can't really use that theory because right now I think if new mine mining is strong. Hold on, that's a dead cat bounce. Let me use an example. Let's use SIGA, or let's use THC, or even Micron that has a dead cap. It's still positive on the day. They might not go after they won't go after because there's more inflationary or monetary news that is going to be affected more than a day or two going out. So any type of moves, I applaud it. I hope the VIX goes to 40. Like I said, it's stalking time, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to play it yet. I don't no longer, I don't use that type of behavior going in there. There's more to lose in these type of markets lately, in that type of situation going to the Fed, that there's more. You're not going to make as much. It's just the way it is. Even for the highest professionals, you're not going to make as much as you're going to make if something goes your way than if you're going to lose when they go against you. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's just, I wish I had a better answer. I got a list this big. I got everything set up, boom, to lock in. But I'm gonna react like I'm gonna react better than anticipate. And
Okay.
everything's reshuffled, best of breeds. Everybody knows how I do it. If you don't, go to the old YouTube channel or look at my process, and it's a process, believe me. And that's how I'm gonna handle it.
Okay. I would use any pullback this week towards 38 and a half in the S&Ps to buy the Russell, the relative strength leader, or Russell related stocks, and watch the dollar tomorrow to see if we put in a failing rally. If we can't make new highs on a tough Fed, there's a chance that the dollar is putting in a failing rally. That should support stocks. And watch these yields. If the Fed raises rates and yet we close under 274, I don't care what the Fed is doing. Yields are going to 220 to 2%.
That's true. And the price action there will lead the sentiment by far. You'll have no choice.
Mike, I love working with you and talking with you every Tuesday. There are times where we have a higher conviction. Hard to have a lot of conviction into what the Fed is going to do, but you could have a plan on how you're going to react to a market sell-off if you have bullets to use. So
well, you could have a plan, but if you don't have a plan, you have no edge, and you can lose. If you have a plan, even if it's a bad plan, you can adjust. If you
Yeah.
think it's going to be 30 degrees out and you go in, you know, with the all layered up and it's 80 degrees, you have a plan to change. At least you have a plan. At least you're aware of the weather.
Yeah. And if you don't learn how to change your mind, you won't have any change
Yeah,
left.
and you know, like Lewis has
WT
said,
Gann.
Lewis's greatest acumen right now is his patience. He might be missing a little bit, but in this type of market,
That's okay.
it is good. So, like I said, just like this Shark Week, I think it's stalking week.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
we have Boeing and Google and everybody. You know, keep what I said in the former. What I said before about your losses are going to be. They're going to. I'm telling you, they're going to escalate more than you believe me. If something's up 20%, you're going to sell and be all giddy, and it's going to be up 30%. But if you're down 10%, it's going to go back down 20%. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean, Coach?
Don't expect perfection at the crap table.
Everybody has a plan until Mike Tyson gets punched in the mouth. Until Rich is right. Everybody has a plan. I knew he was going to say that.
Good luck. Good luck tomorrow, Mike. And
you too, guys. Thanks, Rich.
All right. So I really
all right. We'll see you a little bit later after lunch. It's 11:30. Let's have a plan. I got some stocks. I am going to repost the earnings and maybe some things I'm interested. But like I said, it's stalking week, and tomorrow. Let's see how they close. It's going to be important how they close. We can see how Walmart closes. Let's see how Shopify closes. That at earnings. General Motors had earnings, which is would normally be it's a macro story, but it's still at earnings. It bounced a little bit, but it's still near the lows. General Motors, hold on. Yeah, it's a $2 off year lows. So I mean, I wouldn't be any rush to do that, but that's a story within itself. So have a good day, everyone. Have a plan and trade well.
Thanks, Mike. Busy day for me tomorrow. I'll be back for my regular stream, 9:30 a.m. You on tomorrow, Mike?
I'm on at 11.
And we have
we're on
Danny.
Yeah.
Do we have Danny G's from SIBO with us at 11?
That's who we have, and I got to be prepared. I might even shave.
Okay, so Mike's going to be my co-host for that. If you're interested in VIX and what happens at the SIBO,
good time for two guys.
Yeah,
it's a good time for the VIX talk. Get better than ever.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Danny why the VIX didn't go past 38 on that last decline, and then I wrap up the day with an appearance on Stock Charts TV at the close. So everyone have a great day trading, and join us at TradeGATEHub.com. Hang out with Mike and me, and set up a demo at TradeView Markets, and just trade our ideas, like see what happens.
No, like I said, if it's a demo, if this time the waters are too rough, our demo is the life preserver. You know what I mean? We'll guarantee you're not going to sink if you're on a demo, but you will learn how to swim.
Yeah, and you have to demo everything, whether it's a system trader or discretionary. So nice demo I've used.
All right, guys. Cheers. Have a good